Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Erin Sullivan. We'll get to our top 6 headlines in just a moment, but first, this breaking news. Officials say the U.S. military struck multiple targets linked to ISIS in Syria. This in retaliation for the attack against American troops last weekend, which killed 2 Iowa National Guardsmen, Sergeant Edgar Torres Tovar and Sergeant Nate Howard. The strike was dubbed Operation Hawkeye, a reference to Iowa's moniker, the Hawkeye State. Officials say the strike hit dozens of targets the military linked to ISIS, including infrastructure and weapons storage sites across Syria. Now let's get into our top 6 headlines at 6. Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern filed a merger application with federal regulators today. The combined company would become the largest railroad in the country and the first to operate a coast-to-coast network. And breaking new details tonight on a mysterious death at one of Governor Jim Pillen's farms. Our media partners at Flatwater Free Press and the New York Times found a number of what they call missteps and missed opportunities after a 17-year-old died on the job. Flatwater's investigation found an agency medical officer thought that the teenager died from an immune response to a chemical in a spray foam. They say he recommended a test, but the lab contracted by the coroner's office accidentally destroyed the only suitable blood sample. Sarah Pillen, the governor's daughter and co-chief executive of Pillen Family Farms, says the business fully cooperated with all inquiries. The Department of Justice today releasing some, but not all, documents connected to Jeffrey Epstein before today's deadline. Officials say thousands of files were released and several 100,000 more are expected in the coming weeks. A man involved in a standoff several years ago with Omaha police, while police were trying to serve a search warrant for sex crimes against children, is found guilty in Douglas County Court. Christopher Haywood was found guilty of 11 charges, including sexual assault of a child and child abuse.
This is affordability in action.
President Trump unveiling new most favored nation deals with 9 pharmaceutical companies today. Trump says the manufacturers will sell their products to Medicaid at special prices and launch new medications in the U.S. at lower costs. Nebraska middle blocker Rebecca Alec is going pro. The Waverly native will continue her volleyball career outside of Nebraska with Love Madison. Alec was named a second-team All-American earlier this week.